they should mark present only when the video is on. I think the new technology is needed. The technology should only be not where you switched on, you come on the board, but I think when the camera is on.
If you want this opportunity, students, to interact with Dr. Kiran Bedi ma'am, video has to be on. We will ask you to unmute when you would want to ask a question. So without much ado, let's begin. So good evening. Greetings from Crimson to our esteemed guest, Dr. Kiran Bedi, a woman icon for all of us. In fact, not only me, but all women look up to her for inspiration. And we want to deep dive fearlessly into this path which she has taken of truth and honesty. Also, at the same time, I would like to welcome all our principals, teachers, parents, and my dear students. Students, Kiran ma'am are from all over India. Crimson World School Rudrapur, Crimson World School Varanasi, Crimson World School Marunji and Undri from Pune, St. Andrews from Bovanpalli and Kisra. Both the schools are from Hyderabad. And of course, all our Jain group of institutions, which are all around Bangalore, and there are about 11 of those schools. Friends, Dr. Kiran Bedi ma'am needs no introduction. I'm sure all of you know her, have heard her at many platforms. But I feel very humbled and privileged that I would like to share her expertise in so many fields. We all know she has been the first woman to have joined the officer ranks of the Indian Police Service in 1972, a great honor. She has been the 24th Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry and has also served the United Nations as Civilian Police Advisor in peacekeeping operations. Rest these laurels. Academically, she is a PhD from IIT Delhi with a postdoctoral Nehru Fellowship. She has won many awards. Just to name the two most important, which I feel, winner of the Gallantry Award and the Magsaysay Award, which is also known as like the Asia Nobel Peace Award. And in fact, you know, she's so popular and well known that there has been a biopic on her life, and it's called Yes, Madam Sir, and made by none other by an Australian, Megan Donovan. She is not an impressive person in India, but she is now an iconic woman world leader. And we are so proud to have her with us. You know, she has found two foundations, which she works very closely. This shows that in spite of her busy schedule, she has time for, you know, doing some social service and work for the underserved. One is known as the Navjyoti India, and the other is the India Vision Foundation. We know that she has done a lot of work in prisons in the last so many years that she was there. We also have with us Mr. Francis Joseph, MD of Crimson Education, a renowned educationist. Most of you all also know him. He works both in the public and the private educational domain in India. Dr. Kiran, he is your mentee and has been one since the last 12 years. And of course, as we all know, a lifelong learner. So I would want Francis to introduce our other guests that we have today on our show.
Thank you, Kiran ma'am, for accepting. And I think the idea of Crimson Masterclass is for children to get inspired, right? They read a lot of books, they learn a lot of things from their teachers, but I think getting inspired is very important because sometimes dreams look so impossible inside a classroom. So for them to connect to real life and dream larger is one of our objectives at the masterclass. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting. And today we have a very special guest also all the way from Maldives. Dr. Abdullah Rashid, who's the Minister of State for Education, Republic of Maldives. Thank you so much, sir. And he's really a special guest today. And I think some thoughts from India, we would transport them to Maldives, right? And since he's a policymaker, I'm sure, the word would spread more. And we love Maldives, sir. Thank you so much. And over to Farzana.
Thank you, Francis. As I've said, of the many hats that Dr. Kiran Bedi ma'am wears, one is she is a very renowned author. She has authored many books, but the book which is closest to my heart and which I am showing you today is Fearless Governance. This is her latest book. And in this book, friends, she has written all her experiences as the Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry. This particular book, friends, is available on Amazon. And if you are an avid reader, do pick it up, because there is lots and lots of lovely anecdotes and ideas in this book. It was released by Miss Indra Nui and Professor Debashish Chatterjee. And you know what they called it? They called it a blueprint for good governance, cutting across leadership qualities, both in the public and private sector. So now I want to deep dive first into the book and then definitely into all the questions which our dear students want to ask her. So ma'am, in this book, you talk about many things, but one thing which I am sure everybody is very interested is about the T mantra. T students, TEA, chai, the T mantra. So ma'am, can you tell us something about it?
Farzana, I want to first begin by saying thank you to Francis. You're right, Francis is a very old standing friend, and because of education, we have stayed connected. I also welcome the presence of Dr. Abdullah Rashid, our esteemed guest from overseas. Thank you so much. He's also joining us to listen. And thank you, Farzana, and all the principals and students who joined in. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah. I hope to see you one day in your country. But Farzana, thank you so much for having looked at my book. I believe you read it. You've been a wonderful reader and a great supporter of this book. And of course, Francis facilitated. So thank you so much. I'm now on so much of a book tour these days, because there's so much of interest from this book, because it's all practical. It's all about practice. From theories, it's now how do you put these theories into practice and see the results. So I want to thank you all for enabling this. I also want to thank and express my lot of love and hugs to the children, a lot of e-hugs to the children for being present today. So those of you who have an eye contact with me, you'll get the hug. Those who only got the black screen, you won't get it, because the black screen will block you. But if you are on, then you're getting it. See the e-hug? So, I love to squeeze you all and say, come on, children, because I love children. You'll get to see as I talk to you about it. So you asked me a chapter of the book. In fact, this is almost the opening of the book. And that is what is now, I know the class, the age group you have is between the 9th to 12th standard. Am I right, Francis?
And we have also invited some children from 7th graders, because today's 7th graders are like 9th graders.
I know, I understand. Oh, these children are very bright now. So that's all. So I'm actually going to structure the book as I've written, because it's cutting across age groups also. How will I make it cut across age groups so that it becomes relevant for children? Look, understand, children. One day you will be where I was and I am. One day you will be like the mentors you are like. One day you will be looking at the role models you will be. So if you have these public services position or leadership or corporate leadership position, then all that I've written in the book would be very helpful, because it will suit you, it will shape you. This book ideas will shape you. Now, what is T mantra? Is standing for trust, T for trust, E for empowerment, and A for accountability. Now, while you need this at work when you're employed, you also need it as a person. These are personal qualities. These are absolutely personal qualities. Trust is, if you are trustworthy, you're the best. You're very, very good in information technology. You're very good at the art of public speaking. You're standing first in the class, right? But you're a wonderful, you will love your parents. But if you're not trustworthy, one day you'd get, all this will go. All this will go. So remember, the first quality of a worthy human being is being able to be trustworthy. Is what is it that you're, when nobody's watching you. See, when I gave this to the government, I gave as Lieutenant Governor, saying you can trust me. But could I say that as a 60-year-old when I was the Lieutenant Governor appointed? Could I say you can trust me if I'd not grown up with being trustworthy? So that's what I would like to say. So if somebody asks you, what's your biggest quality? You should raise your hand saying, I'm trustworthy. I'm trustworthy, which means that you will be, I'm trustworthy to my parents. I'm trustworthy to my friends. I'm trustworthy to teachers, trustworthy to the people. I'm worth it. That's one. So trust is very important, which I gave to the people of Pondicherry. But I would say this to the children, earn trust. Now, I want you to Google, I want you to go to Wikipedias and understand all the aspects of trust. Because when you say, what is the meaning of trust? How can I be trustworthy? All Google Guru will answer to you. So I would say, first thing is research now this word. I would say trust. Second is empowerment. Now, what is empowerment? Empowering you, remember, when you are studying well, you know what you're doing? When you're playing well and you're growing well, you're grooming well, you are empowering your parents. You're empowering your friends. Empowering means making them proud of you. You are also strengthening your association and friendship because you are becoming a worthy friend. So you are empowering yourself and you're also empowering. When you are a bright son or a bright student, aren't you empowering parents? Because your parents say, oh, my son, my child did so well. He's topping the list and he's a very good human being, is a trustworthy. You are actually empowering your parents because they feel emboldened. They feel richer. Empowerment is also being rich, not only in money, not only in wealth, but in quality. So you empower. When I gave the mantra empowerment, I was saying I will use my power as a Lieutenant Governor in such a way that you all get solutions to your problems, which means I was like a mother or a parent to the people of Puducherry. I will empower you by serving you good service. You will also empower me by trusting me and by rule of law, by observing the rule of law. The third thing which I gave as a tea mantra was alignment. Now, what is alignment? Alignment in my governance would mean all departments work together. In your case, class works together, group works together, house works together, family works together, neighborhood works together, school works together. If you are in alignment with one common goal, what's the goal? You all have a school goal. You know that? My Sacred Heart School, when I was in Amritsar, had one goal called Excelsior. Mine was Excelsior, means excel, excel. So, but if every student does well, excels. So that's called Excelsior. So friends, this is a chapter in the book, but it's good for you to read how I applied it in governance. But I've translated this for you children is be trustworthy, and by your goodness, you will empower others. And third, alignment with the mission statement of your family, of your school, of your house, etc.
Thank you, Dr. Kiran, ma'am. I also know that you're quite a lover of sports. I am not sure whether our students know that you have been an Asian tennis champion. Awesome, ma'am. Congratulations for having such a multifaceted life and so many interests. You know, today's children are so focused on one thing, and your life and your story will, empower them to look at different things and do everything to perfection. So I know you're quite a fitness person. And today, being the World Health Day, I can't miss asking you this question, And of course, in your book, you have talked about yoga and, how you go about cycling in the Puducherry streets because you wanted to connect to the local people. So especially for our students in today's time, ma'am, they're so used to getting off from their school into their car or school bus, getting off. Cycling is just maybe for a few a pastime, but you have shown how you can use it as a fitness and also to connect with people. So ma'am, I'm sure you're going to talk to us something about it, and if you have some pictures or some video, our children would really enjoy seeing some of you cycling and connecting with the people.
Okay.
So over to you, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just going to dive deep into my little library and quickly see if I have them. I'm going to run them, and then I can answer the questions in a group. Go ahead. So here, I think first one is on health. Have a look at this health clip. There is a very interesting story. A person of my age is in a park and he said, number one is health. So he says, I have one thing which is health. And of education, it becomes 10. He said, you add a zero, another zero, it becomes 100. I've got a job. Then you add another zero, I've got a lot of money to earn. So I'm 1,000. I add another zero, I got a lovely family, then I'm 10,000. I add zeros and zeros as I become a billionaire and a trillionaire or a rich in family, in job, in materialism. He says, you can add so many zeros to your life after this one, which is health. Then he says, you drop this health one. Everything becomes a zero. This is about how I started my day in meditation. Why I started meditation? Because it's very important to collect your thoughts. This is one habit I would like to see. First, health. Wrong. Don't eat at the wrong time. Eat the right kind of nutrition and food, etc. So look after what goes inside the body. Now, this is watching yourself. It's observing, settling down, the tension, the stress of the exam. Just quiet it out. This is a habit which I developed as a child, but continue to practice as Lieutenant Governor. So what I did as Lieutenant Governor was a practice which I did as a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old. So this is something which stayed with me. This helped me get a lot of composure and be in control and command of my thoughts. So I'm trying to tell you something which I acquired as a child, as a school girl, and it carried on with me. And this is fitness. Fitness is a need. Physical fitness. Fitness is both mind and body. It's a need. If one wants to do more, get more out of the day, one would begin with total physical fitness, which generates mind fitness. Any one of us who wants to do the best and the maximum and get the best out of the day will generate energy in the morning by both physical fitness and mind fitness, which comes through meditation and through yoga programs. Celebrate fitness every day. There's no holiday in fitness. You have to be fit. To get the best out of ourselves, we have to be fit every day, both in mind and in body. That's what Sports Day is, a reminder that is sports every day. And sports is fitness. Sports is tenacity. Sports is stamina, endurance, personal energy. Energy to serve. So the more India will be fit, the more it will be able to serve its country better, serve families better, serve work better. So fitness is an essential food of both mind and the body. Got anything more in this? Huh? Fitness is a need. Also nature, being part of nature. This is very, very beautiful. You all have little video cameras. When you come across something nice and interesting, take a photograph. You will see some lovely pictures in my book. I used to take photographs of the pigeons, see the sunrise. The sunrise this
Beautiful.
morning. And look at the little butterfly.
Oh, wow.
Look at this when you love little things of nature, the sunrise it's very nice. Morning. Love little things. Oh my God. Look at this little butterfly along with it. Wow.
Beautiful.
Every day is a new day at much.
So beautiful. Thank you, God.
This is when you start believing in divinity.
On the sunrise this morning. And look at
Now, this is about the biking I talked to you, ma'am talked about here.
when you bike, you don't only make yourself fit, you actually make the environment fit.
Very true.
Fitness is overall. You cannot separate yourself from the environmental fitness. So you contribute to your own fitness, and by biking, you contribute to the fitness of the environment as a whole. And when you contribute to the environment, you contribute to the environment of the world, humanity. Have a great day.
Lovely. So inspiring.
Do you know we can stop here, right? We can stop here. Now, go back to ma'am. Yeah. Go back to ma'am. Yeah. Here we are. Back to you. Back to you, Farzana.
Oh, that was really, really awesome. I know you connect a lot with children and and adults. In fact, there is no age group with which you have not connected, ma'am. So our students are all very much waiting here and wanting to ask questions to you, you know. So should I pick up a few questions for you, ma'am?
Please do. Now, if
Let's
you ask
start.
me, Farzana,
Yes,
just
yes, ma'am.
let me drive home the need for sports. If
Yes,
I can-
please go ahead.
Let me explain why. Why did I continue to bike at this age, even when I'm retired? Why did I continue to be fit even when I'm retired? Why did I continue to play when I'm retired? Because I started to play as a 9-year-old girl. And I've noticed when girls play, they become different. Because boys already are born with some stamina. They're better built. Girls, as they grow, they shape up brilliantly, beautifully, but they also lose every month a lot of energy. So therefore, girls must play to continue their energy and to generate stamina and courage and build up, strengthen the muscles. I would like girls and boys must play. It's not necessary that you become Asian tennis champions or national. Doesn't matter. You play, you compete, you lose, you win, you become a school champion, doesn't matter. Or you don't. Doesn't matter you win or lose, you play. If you learn to play as a school child or a school girl or a boy, you are better team player. And you laugh, you have energy, you are hungry, you know, there's a better appetite, your digestion system. So you're healthier, mind, body. You're healthier. And you're out in the nature. You're out in the divinity. So there is a whole new world. So I would say inculcate the love for sports. And I want girls to 100% play if they have to be leaders of stamina tomorrow, endurance. So this is one. You see how it continued? Then I found my own ways of getting a gym in the gallery, this Raj Nivas gallery. See, I created my own machines, what suited me. So I wanted to reiterate. And that's why I bicycle. I used to bicycle to school. So if your school is close by, ask your parents, allow me to, or bike as a hobby. Go to a cycle track, try and bike. So it's very good. So biking, nature, sports, if these come up as you grow, this will make you fitter all your life. And it make you outdoor. You got to be indoor. But see, your books make you indoor. But sports and biking and such like it makes you outdoor. So if you're indoor and outdoor, you are better. But if you're only indoor, then you're losing out half of your development of your personality. So if you have to develop your personality totally, you must be indoor and outdoor in any activity. And now indoor also calls for music. Remember, indoor calls for chess. These are wonderful games. So play if you have a sport or in music and art as an indoor in school, please do. Add creativity to your life. Sports makes you build more stamina, etc. So I want art, music, extracurricular, which all schools are providing in abundance. Participate in all co-curricular, extracurricular activities. They make you all-rounders. And today's world is all-rounder. You're ready for anything. Okay, I thought I wanted to reiterate it.
So I think all our students today, along with Kiran ma'am, should take a pledge, we shall all stay fit You have given us that inspiration. I have not biked since like many years, but I think taking an inspiration from you, I'm going to start doing it in my apartment block.
You know what? You can even do stationary cycling. It's not that. It's biking. It's a cross trainer. You can have these kind of gyms in the house, small little few machines. If you have space, keep these things in your house. You can be at it. You can cycle. You can treadmill while you're watching anything. You know, you can treadmill. You can bike. So basically, it's getting into the habit of fitness.
Super. Super. Thank you. So let me go deep dive into the first question, ma'am. So Asmi Vishnoy. Ma'am, she's from the Confluence World School, Rudrapur. Are you there, Asmi Vishnoy?
There's so many hands out there.
Yeah. So let's ask Mohan Lata.
Huh?
Mohan Lata, can you unmute yourself? Please first give us your full name, which school, which city, and then ask your question, dear.
Madam, my name is Jaden Paul Kurupati. I am from St. Andrew School and from 6th grade, section I. It is a great pleasure and honor meeting you. So my question is, what is your greatest inspiration in life?
My greatest inspiration in life?
Yes, ma'am.
I will tell you where I draw my inspiration from every day. My sources of inspiration is a lot of reading. It's right kind of watching, very right kind of watching. I don't waste my energy on anything. I must tell you, I read and I get energized. So a lot of reading, my morning fitness, my morning music, my morning walks, these are very big sources of inspiration. Meeting nice people are sources of inspiration. Seeing nice things is inspiration. Being with nature is inspiration. What is inspiration? What gives you energy? Whatever gives you positive energy is inspiration. Remember that. It's nothing. And sometimes it's internal. Even your own thinking, your even nice creativity thinking and being joyful at learning new activity is inspiration to you. That I've done it. It's a feeling. Inspiration is a feeling of joy. By reading, by doing, by seeing, by feeling, by listening, whatever you're looking at, always remember.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next question, Nivi Nata. Can you unmute yourself? You have raised your hand.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a great pleasure meeting you, ma'am. You are my biggest inspiration. So I had a question.
Please, we request everybody to be on mute. Please tell us from which school you are, dear.
Ma'am, I am from Crimson Anisha Global School, Undri. So
your question, please.
799 మంది ఉన్నారు.
Could we request everybody to be on mute, please? Nivi, can you unmute?
What I will just do is I will just mute all and then I will come back to you. Okay.
Right.
Ma'am, just hold on. One minute.
Yeah. Francis, mute all and then the person you want, just unmute that person.
hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was asking, ma'am, greatest inspiration for you from your family members.
Greatest inspiration is, I think, belonging to a very good school. And parents.
पनीर खाएंगे तो ठीक है, और बोला हम रोटी लेके आएंगे.
I've done it now. Now you can unmute, ma'am. Yeah, now you can unmute.
As I told you, what is the meaning of inspiration? Family is an inspiration. Anything which gives you joy and energy and positive feeling to do something good is inspiration. My home was an inspiration, where my father, my mother, we all, I think coming together, family prayer and a family eating is inspiration. Remember, inspiration is not something very theoretical. It's the happening. It's a joyful feeling which wants you to do better. It's a feeling which makes you feel valuable. It makes you joyful. That is inspiration. And home is inspiration. For me, every day, eating even if you ask me, eating the right kind of nutritious food is inspiration because it's giving you energy. So look for positivity in everything you do. For me, all these look, even now talking to you for me is inspiration because I'm enjoying it. So remember, whatever you enjoy is inspiration to keep on doing the right thing.
Okay, Farzana ma'am, can we ask Chinmaya? Chinmaya, I'm going to unmute you. Yeah, Chinmaya, please ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes,
My from Tijas Bangarpet. So I want to ask you that girls are saying that we have studied as much as men, and we are earning as much as men, but household chores still remains our responsibility. Why is this still there?
the reason is that our schools are not teaching teaching boys equally. If you ask me, I would make making a home keeping together. I would teach cooking to both. If I were the principal, I would have a cooking class for both. But the message is home belongs to both. And otherwise, they think only girls can cook, naturally cook, or they will cook, or they expected to cook, and they would cook. No way. No way. I think that message has to begin at the home. At the school and home. But if the home is not teaching the boys to cook, let the schools do a cooking class. That means it's not home science. It's living together. It's working together. It's growing up together. So maybe you can call a class of growing up together. Call the class growing up together. Francis, we can call it the class of growing up together.
Yes.
And that would be very helpful because now it's required, because women are also at work outside the homes. They're outside homes, they're also working. And then they work outside, and when they come back, they start working at home also, while the man thinks, okay, he'll get a food the way mommy gets served. No, there are no more mummies after work, after marriage. You are your own father, you're your own mother, and you work together as a home. So I think that's important, is growing up together. In growing up together, you have to be trained to grow up together, particularly when you have co-ed classes. But if you have only a boys' school, boys should be trained to grow up together, to run their own homes, which means cook, to clean, to everything to be done. Because you see, when we are with our parents pamper us and they do everything for us and they make us dependent. But once we are on our own, then we start wondering, what do I do? And at some stage, all of us will have to be on our own. And in this case, whether you cook or you don't, but you should know how to run your own home and grow up together. So I think, Chinmaya, the problem lies in homes. But if the parents don't do it, let the schools do it. If it's boys' school, do it. If the co-ed school, do it. If the girls' school is, of course, let them also learn how to do it better for them, how to cook nutritious food. So I think this home growing should be now combined, and it should be equally for both.
Thank you, ma'am. Can I invite Suyani I'm unmuting. Yeah.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Soyani. I'm from St. Andrews School, Bowenpalli, Hyderabad. I am now in 9th grade. So my question to you, first of all, I want to say that you're an inspiration to many women, and including me, because I also want to join the civil services only. So I wanted to ask you, when and why did you only choose the IPS sector?
Because the working in the police service attracted me much more. I saw it as a visible arm of a very effective visible arm of the government, where I could get things done because I'm in uniform. I have the power and I can get it done. Whereas if you're a civil servant, you keep introducing yourself. Whereas in this case, you don't introduce yourself. You are in uniform. People know what your duty is. They, on the contrary, expect the right thing from you, and also expect justice. I don't need to explain, and I'm visible. So I wanted to be in a visible service which administers the law. And being in uniform attracted me. Also because I was an NCC cadet. For 4 years before I got into the Indian Police Service, 4 years, I was the best cadet of my college. I was parading, I was in uniform all the time. Then a sports girl. See, I was not a desk girl. I was more not secretariat oriented. I was field oriented person. So all of us have our natures. I was very field oriented. That's why I was biking, I was playing tennis, etc. So it also goes by your nature. So if you know your nature and you choose that kind of a profession, you always enjoy your work throughout the life. It's like a doctor. If you want to be a surgeon or a generalist, I think you got to make a choice. A generalist may be a misfit in surgeon, and surgeon may start wondering, it's very easy for me, I want to be a surgeon. So I think we all need to know our nature. I was knowing my nature. I was field oriented. I want to be visible in the field, and I wanted to command and control. I was a leader. I was growing up as a leader.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next one, Francis.
Anhad, I'm unmuting you, Anhad.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, first I want to say, ma'am, it's a great pleasure meeting you. Ma'am, and my question, ma'am, I'm Anand Pratap Singh from Confidence Word School, and my question to you is that, ma'am, do you agree that the failures are the stepping stone to success?
Yes, if it's an effort made and yet not giving you the same result, the failure is not useless. Sorry, the effort is not useless. Every effort takes you closer to the next step. It's like you have a staircase, right? And
Yes.
and you're not on the staircase. To me, that's a failure. But if you've gone on step 1 and you got on step 2, but you couldn't get on step 3, but you made the effort, doesn't matter. You go to the step 3, but you've already come on step 2. But if you don't decide to climb the ladder, that's a failure. But if you keep climbing the ladder step by step, even if it's slowly, but not reach the top, it's not a failure. It's moving towards success. So the effort, no effort goes waste. That's a law of nature. No effort goes waste. Every seed doesn't fruition equally into a tree, but if you don't sow the seed, you'll have no plant.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Failure is when you've not sown a seed.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Then the success is you've sown a seed, you've given it a nutrition, you've shaped it up beautifully and let it grow and looked after it. That's success. But looking after the plant to me is continuing to succeed. But remember, during a cyclone or another thing, it can get attacked. All you need to do is keep the effort of saving your plant, means protecting yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Alice, I'm unmuting you. So for everyone, if you have to ask question, your video has to be on. Otherwise, I'm not entertaining. So Alice, you can ask.
Good evening, ma'am. Myself, Alice Khai from Confluence World School. I would like to ask a question. So my question is, ma'am, could you please share your experience regarding your school life?
I belong to the Sacred Heart School, Amritsar. And I had nuns, I had Belgian nuns who were training us. Those days we had the nuns, the Belgian nuns. Now they've been all replaced by nuns coming from Kerala. But during my time, I had nuns which had come from Belgium. Oh my God, they made us learn English so well. They made us write so well. They made us recite so well. We used to open our mouth to recite. They were very particular about our pronunciation, about our writing skills, about our reading skills. And they was to teach us about cleanliness. They were very, very cleanliness oriented. So all these lovely habits which I got of cleanliness, reading, writing, speaking, recitation, declamation, of confidence building, being the head girl, I learned it all in school. And then we used to play team games like the basketball. So my school was always grooming me to be a beautiful all-rounder. And they used to give us very good cards, which were appreciation cards, gold card, the silver card, like schools give you. So they were training me to become actually be proud of myself. So my school basically taught me a lot of value system. We used to go and pray. there was a time to pray. My school never forced me to do this or that. They allowed us to pray the way we all wanted. Anybody wanting to go to church would go. Anybody wanting to go to elsewhere to pray. So there was no imposition of anything. But what I liked about it is that I became a very interfaith respecter. I valued every faith because I found commonness in all the things. There was spirituality. There was something called spiritual thread, which means all faiths lead you to one destination, which is being a good human being. Good human being, a trustworthy human being. That is what was taught in my school. And those value systems remain so ingrained. That's why I'm very happy that I'm talking to those children. You are ingraining these values as you grow. And once you believe them, these values will not leave you, but you'll also be in the habit of continuing to nurse them, cultivate them, look after your habits that they don't change. So if you keep building, that as time comes that nobody can change or make you dishonest when you're honest. Nobody will make you a scared person when you have the courage. Nobody will make you be afraid when you have the sense of courage in you. So nobody, it stays with you. So you are habit forming at this stage. That's why I'm very happy that I'm talking to you, because you are all being very receptive to these positive ideas of habits. So be very careful what the habits are being taught. And the teachers also in the assemblies reading about these. Newspaper reading was also taught, a very essential practice which we had to be up to date in our news. The school made sure that we know what's happening in the country.
Thank you. Inchira, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. This is Inchira from grade 10th, and I'm from Karnataka, ma'am. Ma'am, my goal is to become a IAS officer, and the only reason why I have choose this goal is women harassment going on in our country, ma'am. Ma'am, I thought that I can change, after becoming an IAS officer, I can change the whole country and stop this women harassment. Ma'am, being a woman, can I do this?
You can do anything you want. You can do anything you want. Be confident. And once whether you are in government or not, you can achieve a lot. You can do anything you want. Let's say you're in the corporate world. Supposing you don't make it to the UPSC and you don't become an IAS officer. You mean to say you can't change the world? You can. Aren't people in the corporate world doing corporate social responsibility and doing a lot of community giving? Aren't they? Today, most of the leadership in the corporate and in the public world are contributing to building a better society. Every company, every business house now today, particularly which is a wealthy house, has to donate 2% of its income to development of these social systems, to strengthen social system, which includes women empowerment. A lot of the NGO sector is exactly doing that. But once you are in the government, if you're into policy making, then you are implementing agency. Supposing you become a collector, you walk the streets and you can work with the women directly. You work with the villages and the panchayats directly. So remember, whether you're in the government or the private sector, when you want to do something and you have developed your resources, you can deploy them as you want. You are empowered. So as you continue to upskill, continue to learn a skill, as you earn, as you grow, you will know how to do, when to do, where to do, who to do for. You will learn it. But this mission, this thirst in you will make you do, because this is exactly the spirit I had when I was growing up. Why I wanted to be in Cuba is that I wanted to empower women. And that's what happened with my life. That's why I came into the police. I will empower women. I'll make them feel safer. Right? That's what happened. So it happens. What you desire passionately and you prepare accordingly from now on, you will make it. But by 1% chance, you don't make it. Don't worry. You are in the private sector because you will be skilled. You will have your own company. You will be a leader of your own people. You will have resources to help others. You will always be in a position of empowerment now because the kind of quality education you're all getting. You are all empowered. You are already empowered by being into such good schools. You are already empowered. Good health is empowerment. Good school is empowerment. Programs like these is empowering you. Having good teachers is empowerment. They're all powering you. They're all powering you. This program is giving you power. It's empowering you. It's giving you ideas. It's giving you positive energy. It's empowering you. It's inspiring you. This is empowerment. Understand? You can do this in many, many ways. Sometimes by spending money and sometimes by inspirational. You may be a teacher, you may be a professor, you may teach. Aren't you empowering students when you give inspirational positive messages? You are empowering. And when you love a little child, you are empowering because you're taking care of. You are empowering even your elders when you take care of them, because you are empowering yourself. You are also looking after, you are empowering yourself by loving your elders. It's all about empowerment, is not power which is political. Empowerment means you have the capacity to transform. You have the capacity to change things for the better. Okay, next.
We have got Piyush. Piyush, please.
Yes, sir. Very warm greetings, ma'am. I am Piyush from Crimson World School, Varanasi, grade 12. I would like to question you, since you have such a versatile personality, you had so many skills. So how did you decide that which side would you go on, or what was the day that made you decide that it is this field that I want to go, and like sports and everything, education, but you choose one. So like I also have few skills. So how can I personalize like one skill out of them, and what is that thing that makes you decide it best?
You have to ask yourself what you like most. Like, yes. I liked humanities as subjects. I loved history, geography, political science, etc. You first must ask yourself, you like science, you like mathematics. You don't do it because others are telling you. Choose the subjects which come very naturally to you. Then you will love them. You will research them, you will read them, and you will master them. And that will take you towards your profession. So we are born with certain tendencies. We must identify what are my tendencies. Some are born scientists. Some are born inventors. Some are born writers. Some are born singers. Some are born poets. So some are born. Wasn't Lata Mangeshkar born singer? And what happened? What happened? Father identified, oh, she can sing. Remember that? Remember? She was born singer with the voice of golden voice. And she used to sing on her own, practice on her own, listen on her own. She was born. And what happened? Father identified it and said, okay, sit down, I'll train you. And she continued to develop and sing. So some of you must know your tendencies. My tendency were people-oriented. My tendency was towards public administration. That's why I chose my subjects. I didn't choose science, etc. I chose what I liked. If you are science-oriented, do that. And now in the national education policy for your successive students, you will have flexibility. You can even have music and science. You can choose. In between, you can change subject. You see, there's a greater flexibility. That's the better new education policy. Earlier, it wasn't like that. That was rigidity, that you got to have this either science stream or humanities stream, and you can't change. Now it's different. So what is important is, Piyush, is to know yourself. What do you like? Not what others want, not what parents want, not what people want, what you like, because you have to live with yourself. And if you like, you'll never work a single day, as it said. If you like the thing which you're working in, you'll say, I'm enjoying it. Like, for instance, I've been working 24/7 as a police officer. I never came back home, said, I'm exhausted, my service is no good. Not once. Because I liked it. I liked doing what I did. It was my choice. So that's the point.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Gayatri, I'm unmuting you.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. I'm Gayatri from class 9, St. Andrew's School, Boinpalli. And first of all, thank you so much and for giving such wonderful messages and inspiring all of us here. And my question is that how are you motivated every time to do such things? And like I saw the videos which you were showing, recently even I joined tennis and I go by cycling, and this is like my third sport learning. I really like sports, so I also joined tennis recently and I go by cycling. And even I like nature, so photographs are always there with me of the sunrise and the sunset. So what keeps you motivated every time?
Doing all these things as a package. Yeah, these are the things you continue. Don't drop your habits. Continue
Yes.
to do it. You can become cycle clubs. You can become walking clubs. You can sometimes become walking clubs. Yeah, you can become marathon clubs. You can become running clubs, right? You can
Yes.
become, you see, you can become small youth clubs and offer an activity you like, whatever you like, whether it's cycling or it's walking or it's jogging, right?
Yes.
It can be. So there are tourist areas where children become cycle to explore the city, and they use a Sunday or a holiday, go explore the city. I think
yes,
it's being adventurous, going trekking, going mountaineering. Schools send you mountaineering and trekking, rock climbing. I think these are the areas. Going for pilgrimages where you are on a destination journey. I think being adventurous where you are in nature, and you're also value-based linkages. So, and takes you outdoor, I think makes you stronger. I keep doing that.
Yes. Ma'am, and one more question I have, like how to, like, I have many things like I want to do in future, like many. I'm also learning music so from past 8 years. So I want to do many things. So how to identify which one is the better?
Only you know. What do you like more? I also want to learn music, but I don't have the time. So, but I don't sulk over it that I can't. But I'm choosing my time. After all, time is a constraint. Remember in time, always remember time. Time is all energy. Where do you spend your energy? You see, when you get up, you're very high on energy. Afternoon, you're a little slow. You pick it up again in the evening. Then you need to sleep. So energy hours are limited. You may be having 24 hours, but your energy hours may be 8, maybe 5, maybe 6. Now, in that, if you have academics as a first preference, you have to put academic as a first preference.
Yes.
Because that is something which is, now in that you have to prioritize. And then postpone certain other things for a time when you may not have academic examination, but do something else. Or learn it as a hobby in class. When you have a classroom and there's a period for that, go and learn music.
Yes.
So it is like, when can you do what? It's important that how you spend your energy time.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Prachi, you can quickly ask, because then I want to give some opportunities to principals to ask.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Prachi Sinha from Class 10 of Crimson World School, Varanasi, and I feel delighted to have a word with you today. My question to you is, what inspired you to take up the reforms of inmates at Tihar Jail, Delhi?
As you grow up, now when you grow up, I would like you to imagine, ask yourself, why am I here? Now, for instance, supposing you become a head girl or you become a class representative, won't you ask, why are you representative for? What's your responsibility? Or it's a badge only. Is it just a badge? Would you not like go back maybe to your principal and say, ma'am, what's my responsibility as a class representative? What's your purpose? Or I'll decide what I want to do. No, you want to be a good representative. Then she'll probably guide you. Just make sure there's a proper discipline in the class. Make sure that everybody knows the timetable for tomorrow. Make sure if everybody sits in order, you're representative. Or make sure activities organized for the week. So there's a purpose behind a position. Every purpose which everybody, a responsibility, there's a purpose behind every responsibility. The purpose behind my responsibility as Inspector General was that these prisoners who are inside, already punished because they are inside the jail, when they leave the jail, they don't come back. And then I found out what will make them not come back? Education, skill development, counseling services, spiritual discourses, right? Meditation, community learning. So I then gave them all those things. Purpose was they don't come back. Because this is what they had missed out when they were growing up.
Super. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So I've got identified 3 students and one principal right now. So Revati, you want to ask?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sahasra from class 9, St. Andrews, Boinpalli. First of all, ma'am, it's such an honor to speak with you. You're such a big inspiration to everyone over here. And I wanted to ask you that you know that there's a little bit of internalized misogyny in India as of now, and you are the first IPS women officer of India. So how did you handle the questions that said, "Oh, you're a woman, but you're still working"? How do you handle both of these things? Did you come across these questions, and how did you handle them?
I kept answering it to make them change their mind. So never avoid answering. Keep answering. So you will continue because they are all products of their own environment. So you should feel sorry for them because somebody is not educating them or somebody is not learning. Even if they're being educated, they're not learning. So you keep answering. Like, for instance, when I joined the Indian Police Service, and now they said, how will you, what kind of, so what would you like to wear the same, what uniform will you wear? Would you be able to do the same training? Happy to design a new training program for you. Why? It was misogyny. Knowing that I'm an Asian tennis player, I'm a national this thing, and none of the boys were even university champions. They were not even university champions. And I was Asian, and yet he's asking me, do we design a new training program for you? I said, number one, I'll do the same training as the boys. No problem. Go ahead. Because I don't want anybody to say Kiran Bedi became so-and-so with half the training. You leave it to me whether I fail or succeed. I will do the same training. I'll do the same rope climbing. I'll do the same riding. I'll do the same firing. I'll do the same amount of parade. I'll do the same marathons. I'll do the same adventures. And I did, number one. Number two, they said uniform. I said, why? I have to wear the same uniform because I have to look alike. So I wore the same uniform. And that's why all the women are wearing the same uniform. So I answered it and proved it. So never worry about that. It takes time for society, but another 5-10 years, you'll see, Revati, as you grow up, misogyny would have declined a lot because schools are now educating the boys differently. Boys are also getting sensitized towards equal status of men and women. I think gradually you'll become 50% in workplaces, things will change. So it's changing, but it's come a long, long way. Where was this girls coming up so beautifully asking these questions till 5 years ago? Where were these interactions? Where were this information technology? Right? And look at the kind of questions you're already asking, because all of you now want to be. Whereas if I look at 10 years ago, then probably some of you would have said, how can we be a good bride, a nice looking bride? Now nobody's asking me that question at all. On the contrary, you've asked me, how can we do home growing together? See how wonderful? It concerns you already. So this is what I'm saying. This is how the change is coming. It will keep changing for the better. And you're moving towards more and more of equal society. But keep answering if you are asked.
Thank you. Thank you. Purnima, quickly.
Good evening, ma'am. Myself, Purnima from grade 10 of Jain Public School, Ranebenne, which is located in Karnataka. Today's question is, ma'am, I want to ask is, in this journey, you have faced many problems like demotivations. Then how did you overcome them? How did you face them, ma'am? And how did you got up the confidence back? Please, can you suggest?
Demotivation also sometimes comes. It's a human, it's a natural in human nature. You have a high and you have a low, and you're sad sometimes, you're feeling dejected. It happens. But don't expand it. Don't let it grow. First thing is becoming aware that you are feeling sad, or you're feeling disappointed, or you're feeling dejected. Don't let that feeling grow. This is one. That means you're becoming aware that you're feeling low. So awareness is the first thing. It should ring a bell. It should ring a bell. Or you should pinch yourself. Ring a bell or pinch yourself. Hey, I'm losing control, or I'm getting disappointed, or I'm feeling remorseful, or I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling dejected. I am feelings. That means you and dejection is separate. So you are feeling dejected. So dejection is not you, but you are feeling dejected. That means dejection is outside you, not inside you.
Super.
Understand? So you reject rejection. You reject it, and you tell the dejection that you are the master, not the dejection. That means you become the master. And not that dejection rules you. You reject dejection. You want to cry? You want to cry? Okay. Oh, I want to cry. So crying and you is different. So go to the tap and splash water on you. Have a glass of water. Or say, I don't need to cry. There's no problem crying. But I don't need to cry. So separate the crying from you. You are always different. You are the constant. Crying, happiness. You're very happy. I'm very happy. Good. But remember, happiness in you. So you are happy. I'm sad. But the happiness is not going to make you crazy. You see, people are very happy, they drink away. What happens? They become the drink. They're no more happy. They become the drink. They lose control. Or they go crazy. They go crazy driving very hard, very fast, going on motorcycles. There's a lot of music, etc. What happens? They crash. Why? Because they were overtaken by that. So happiness or sad is two different things from outside you. You become, that's why morning fitness, yoga asanas, meditation, your own quiet prayer is all very vital for you to start your day so that you become the master of your mind. Understand? So being a master of your mind and being separate from your negativity or positivity, enjoy, but don't get crazy on that. Sad, don't go sulking and saying, oh, I have nothing more left. So and remember, two things are never similar. Buddha, read Buddha. It will be good to read Buddha. Buddha says everything's transient, everything's temporary. It will come and will go. Nothing stays on. Nothing's permanent in life. That's why we all come and go. We come and go. Joy comes and goes. Sadness comes and goes. Nothing lasts forever. Your school, your primary school will become a secondary. Secondary will become college. College will become university. University will become further your workplaces. Everything's on the move. Nothing's permanent. The only permanent thing is how you react, how you observe, how you respond, how you control, how you master. Okay? All right.
Thank you. Anjana is our principal from Banaras. I call it, instead of calling Varanasi, I still prefer Banaras. Anjana, over to you.
Thank you, Francis, sir. Good evening, Kiran ma'am. And on behalf of everyone here, indeed a proud privilege for all of us to be interacting with you. So far, you have answered a lot of questions from the mindset and the viewpoint of the students. A question coming from all the educators here on the platform. You gave a beautiful tip about, driving amongst the children, the sharing the load option, where you instill in boys the cooking and all. I would like to know what more tips there are that we as educators can help drive this message of equality by not simply talking about it, but by the actions that we get the children to do in school, one. And secondly, at times, I have feel somehow there are certain areas where boys get to be underprivileged at times these days. So, how to strike this balance where not the girls do not try to take advantage of being, the underprivileged, and they try to overpower the boys. So how to do that, and how to get the activities, and what activities would you suggest beside the one which you suggested, which we are going to implement immediately? I would like an insight into some more, ma'am.
That is why, Anjana, I've been suggesting team games where you are in a co-ed, make them half-half men and women hockey team, volleyball team. Every team should become half-half so that all play equally and compete equally. I like to see girls can have girls teams, boys can have boys teams, but you also have mixed teams. And always make girl and boy one by one girl sit rather than boys, girls separate, boys separate. Take, whenever you have a hall event, one girl, one boy, one girl, one boy, they must sit equally. equally proportionately, so that it's like not separate. You see what happens in our evening dinners. Evening dinners, wives one side, men one side, and so they all both have. This is not the right way. What are women there for then? They all look out. So what did you cook? What did you buy? What did you stitch? And why did you this thing? What's your children doing? My God, that evening's gone. Why can't they all sit together and chat and discuss matters of state if they want to, or this discuss market? So I think it's the way we socialize. The socialization should start from school by bringing more of equal participation. That means you can have periods of cooking. Everybody cooks, everybody cleans, everybody starts drying, everybody irons, right? Everybody goes for plantation, everybody. So when you do it together, they educate each other and they learn to do it equally participatively. So you teach them collaboration and participation when they're small.
A beautiful idea, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjana. I think one student said that I will never be able to ask a question ever to Kiran ma'am. So give me a chance. So that really won me over. Reet Kaur.
Ma'am, my name is Reet Kaur and I am from St. Andrew's School, Bowenpalli, Hyderabad. My question to you is, what was your greatest fear and how did you fight it?
I think if there was a fear which I had, was to be a dependent woman. I did not want to be a dependent woman as I grew up, because during the time I was growing up, women were dependent on the men. Like my mummy was dependent on my father to provide the money for running the home. My mummy was dependent. So daddy was a provider. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be a dependent woman. I think my fear was I'd be never, ever dependent, number one. Number two, my sense of freedom. So two things I valued hugely for myself. One was self-dependence, and second, my sense of freedom. Nobody dare take away my space and freedom and decide and dictate to me what is restricted. I'm okay to listen and guide and listen to within my boundaries. I have to know my boundaries. I have to understand my limitations. But nobody dare to say, order me around. So I think that has been the spirit. So I was scared of being enslaved or being dependent. And I have two things, God's grace, I've not been. I've succeeded very well. Is self-reliance. And it's not just financial. It's not just financial self-reliance. Decision-making. My capability and capacity to decide for myself what is good for me. I'm willing to listen and take guidance and change my views. I'm not rigid, but ultimate decision has to be mine, which I have to be responsible for. So I think my greatest fear was this, is I may not grow up one day to be like my mommy, who looks up to daddy to provide. Though daddy was a great provider. Thank God. Supposing daddy was not a good provider, my mommy and they would have struggled. I didn't want to be a woman who's asking. I wanted to be giving. So as a woman, I wanted to be growing up to be a giver and not a taker. And that's what life has been. So I think that's where I continue to raise my capacity of giving. I look for opportunities where I can give. And that's what happened even in LG's office. My LG cupboard was full of gifts. And the gifts I received as an LG, I had all the gifts cupboard put in a cupboard. Shawls and lovely, lovely things. Guess what I did? I used to get visitors, foreigners and others. Situationally, I used to pick up a gift and give to them. Sometimes they were very nice gifts. Very treasured, very valuable. I've left no gift not given. And I've brought no such gift along with me in Delhi. Whatever I got there has been given away in Pondicherry itself. All the shawls I got, they were lovely shawls. In Chennai, you get lovely, lovely shawls. Do you know all those shawls were gifted away to the underprivileged, or as I say, underserved. And I gave it to sanitary workers. All my shawls were given to all sanitary workers who were cleaning up Puducherry. Wow. I loved them. Because I was growing up to be a giver. And that's what happens. That habit comes I never assembled, oh, what I've got as an LG, give me, I make a big box of it. No. That was separate and they had to be given. Sometimes they gave me some very nice idols and little temples. And then I used to put them on the walls of the Lieutenant Governor's office so that they remain as government property. So I think that's the fear. The thing was to grow up to be a giver, never to be a taker. Francis, can I have the last question?
Yeah. I think this was the last question, because there are more than 65 hands up. I don't know whom to, because I don't know the school name. I'm just looking at a name. And if I call one, it's unfair. Probably I'll be the most hated person next time I go to school. But Farzana ma'am, over to you, because I know we have crossed time.
Thank you so very, very much, ma'am. I have taken away so many tips from you. And I so truly believe, and when I started, I said you are an icon and we women have to look up to you. I would now say, let's all bow down and say, yes, we are going to be like you. And my girls and even my boys, let's all be, as she said, givers and not takers,
Perfect.
And in that book, I don't know, I am quite fond of your book, ma'am, and a request to at least all the principals, let's get one copy in our schools, because it'll be good reading material for our children, You end with something which says, once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. And that's exactly what Ritu had asked you that question. Why have a fear? When you become fearless, you become limitless. So thank you so much for sparing, I think it's more than 1 hour, 15 minutes of your time. Thank you so much on behalf of the Crimson team, on behalf of Francis, on behalf of all my students and principals. Thank you, ma'am. And it's been a pleasure. And I think I'm going to take this as at least once a year. Ma'am, you should have this chat with us, please. Our children really learn so much. I don't think we can teach so much in a classroom of maybe a whole day, what you have taught them in this 45, how much was it? 60 and 15, 75 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you. You enabled it. You facilitated it as very good mentors and teachers and principals. That shows your passion to groom your children. And I'm into grooming leadership anyway. So I'm into, this is for me a class of grooming leadership and sharing life's experiences. I want to thank Farzana, you. I want to thank Francis, Joseph, you, and Dr. Abdullah for having been with us, hopefully, and all the principals, all the school participants, boys and girls, grow up together. Together we'll make India strong.
Together.
Together.
We should all say together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And apologies to all students for, I'm feeling very guilty. I couldn't have every question answered, but there is always an opportunity and there is always a right time. Okay. But I think every answer of hers had solved a lot of questions, So I think you can go through in the YouTube. You'll probably pick up your answer again. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again, from all of us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All the very best. You'll all make it great. All of you great. Believe in yourself. You're all into right education, great health. Go ahead.
God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.